Drogba indirdi cezana Snyder. Snyder gol! Allah'ım gol! Muslera! Fernando Muslera! Golün adı Muslera! Sarıyoglu, Drogba! This is incredible!
Hello and welcome to episode 41 of the Lion's Den, a Galatasaray podcast, done by the community for the community. My name is Samet, and before we start off introducing my fellow hosts, I want to tell you all about our Discord channel, where we game, watch things, or in general talk about Galatasaray. So give us a DM on Twitter or Instagram under the handle @TheLionsDenGS for a personal invite. This way, we keep away the Fenerli trolls. Speaking of Fenerli trolls, from all across the Atlantic Ocean, give it up for our Manhattan American Yasin. How are you doing, Karadenizli boy?
I'm not answering that. I mean, who are you talking to? Emre, who is he referring to?
Yeah, I
Am
don't know who
supposed
he's
to answer
talking
that?
to. Who you talking to like that, huh? Who you talking to like that? That's what Jason's trying to say.
What's this disrespect? I'm being introduced as a Fenerli troll? What does that mean?
I didn't say that. Is that what you got from it? I was just talking about our Discord channel, and then I just moved quickly towards introducing my other host.
Well, you said speaking of Fenerli trolls.
No.
And then you introduced me.
Blame it on my English. I'm not native, so.
Okay. I'll let this one slide. But I'm doing well, bro. I'm doing well. How can I not? Same old. It's becoming a repetitive thing week after week. This team is just winning, and it's leaving us fans happy every single weekend. And what better way to spend the weekend knowing that your team has already won, and it's now time for everybody else to catch up. So I'm doing wonderful, man.
I'm happy to hear that. You sound like it. I wish you all the best. I mean, aside from me teasing you here and there, I love you. You know that, right?
Of course, bro. Of course.
Hugs and kisses.
If there's anything, just private DM me.
Okay.
Not about Arda Güler, though, you know.
Okay.
Speaking of, across from Manhattan, we got Brooklyn, our GOAT, our madman, our very own Godfather, Papa Emre, joining as usual, never missing anything. How's business, Race?
Oh man, how can I appreciate that kind of intro? I mean, I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking, Samet.
Why is your accent changing?
I don't know. You tell me. You know, when
Emre can't control himself.
I can't.
Turn off the music, Chubuk.
Samet.
Okay, stop it.
And so, as I was saying, I'm doing all right.
Oh God. Yeah.
No, I'm doing great, man. Just like Yasin said, it's really nice to come off of a really good and strong win and just watch everyone else fail or hopefully potentially fail, and you just just lay back, drink your tea, and have a good time. You know what I mean?
All right. For anyone listening confused, this is indeed a podcast about Galatasaray. So we'll quickly move on. But first, let me tell you good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from wherever you're listening. Go ahead, take the broom, take the vacuum cleaner, put on the podcast, and enjoy. Because today we're going to talk about everything that happened about Galatasaray, the Hatayspor game, upcoming Turkish Cup game, Alanya and Antalyaspor. And we'll see if we have some listener questions. So let's move on straight towards some news. Last week, we got linked up with Haji Wright. And guess what happened, Yasin?
What happened? Tell me.
Well, nothing specific. It's Haji Wright is going to Fenerbahce, apparently. Do you know the details?
I don't. There's a rumor from a source called Nutspor, and they're actually not a typical transfer source like the others are, and it's a bit surprising. They don't get involved with this type of news. So when a big source like them, they usually talk about soccer after games. They have some reputable names. When they make a claim like this for a transfer finishing, it makes you wonder if it's true or not. And what they're saying is Fenerbahce bought him for, I believe, 7.5 million euros plus 2.5 in bonuses. I mean, that's a lot of money, and I don't know if I believe it just because it's so high. But I would not be surprised to see Ali Koç pull something like that. They're saying Antalyaspor needs 5 million euros for because of transfer reasons. I think they have a UEFA restriction or something like that. I don't know if you know more details, but
I've heard about
they need 5 million euros as soon as possible. And if anybody's going to give that money ASAP, I'm sure it's going to be Fenerbahce. So
yeah. Okay, well, I don't know. I'm just happy Fenerbahce overpays, and I feel like Gala made like a diversion tactic into letting them buy another wasted player.
Like João Pedro?
Who? Oh.
Yeah,
He
you
never
probably
played,
don't
right?
remember him because, he didn't play very often.
Yeah,
But they paid a lot of money for him too when we wanted him. It's like, I think we do this on purpose as Galatasaray because they like, Fenerbahce loves going after our, prospects.
Yeah,
And they, for some reason, it all blows up in their face. So I'm starting to think that this is preemptively planned.
If you go to transfer market and you tick Fenerbahce and then tick their scouting team, you see Galatasaray.
Exactly. They use our Twitter to follow all the news as well.
Probably, yeah. Anyway, on our side, Güray Vural, it seems, I think last week we already mentioned, right? How much we're going to pay for Güray Vural or not?
I mean, I don't think that's
remember.
happening anymore, right?
Yeah.
Because that was a rumor and nothing really came of it. In fact, I think it's related. We can talk about Uğur Çiftçi from Sivasspor, if that's okay.
Confusing
Because-
things. Yeah, that's the official thing.
Aynen, exactly.
We said
So,
burada almayalım ya. Aynen.
yeah. Exactly. I mean, we had Güray Vural, we had Aziz Behiç as the original rumors, and apparently, according to Ertan Süzgün, who is a tier 1 source for Turkish transfer news, is saying that we have reached an agreement with Sivasspor for Uğur Çiftçi for 600,000 euros plus Emre Taşdemir, which is our left back.
Yeah.
And I'll go through some details. Well, not that detailed, but some general information about him. So Uğur Çiftçi, for those who don't know, he's a left back playing for Sivasspor. 30 years old. He's a left-footed left back, which Emre emphasized last week, and I'm sure we can all agree is a preference for anybody playing on the left side of the field. He's known for his crossing and his involvement in the attack. If you do a quick search on his highlights and whatnot, he's pretty good at finding the forwards in the box. So I think that would be a warm welcome for this team. He's 5'11", or for everybody else in the world, 1.79 meters tall. He has 250 plus appearances in the Super League, so he's definitely quite experienced. He's not just old, he's also experienced, which is huge. He won the Turkish Cup with Sivasspor in the 2021-2022 season, so he's a winner. We're bringing somebody who has the experience to kind of fight through games and finish games. Not everybody has a winner mentality in this league, and it's great that we're bringing somebody that does. He only missed 6 games due to injury in the last 6 years, and 14 in his entire career, not including COVID. And the reason why I mentioned that is because the guy that we're trying to replace and we're getting rid of in the process is Emre Taşdemir, who we've mentioned many, many times before. That's a guy who's consistently injured. And that's not what we need right now. We need somebody who is a plug and play, and that's what we're getting with Uğur Çiftçi.
Don't you think we kind of like ripped them off? We took their most consistent and we gave them our most inconsistent player. Like, here, we'll take your brand new, functioning Toyota. We'll give you a broken down hoopty from like the 60s.
That's what I don't get. If we're moving away Emre Taşdemir. I mean, to me, I love Emre Taşdemir. He's good whenever he plays.
I like him too.
But he never plays because he's injured. Sivas knows this. So why are you getting a player like that? That's what I don't understand.
And 600,000 euros for 30. Like, he's not that old. He's 30, bro.
Yeah, I
You know
know
what
that
I mean?
Uğur Çiftçi was on our radar before, but wasn't made a priority because Sivas wanted more from him. So that never went ahead, basically.
Yeah, and that's a good question. I was wondering the same thing myself. And the only thing that kind of makes sense to me, and I'm kind of guessing here, but it wouldn't be that shocking. Uğur Çiftçi has served Sivasspor well for a very long time. He has over 120 caps for them. And he recently actually signed a contract extension with them this last summer. So when these rumors were coming up that we were looking for a left back, Uğur was a name that I saw mentioned, but I didn't think it was possible because he just signed like a 4-year extension. Why would they let go of him?
Yeah.
But my guess is it's an honor system between the two parties, which is Uğur and Sivas saying, hey, look, I'm 30 years old. I've served this club very well. I've won a cup with you guys. We're not winning the league anytime soon. I'm sure both teams can agree on that. I'm getting a call from a very successful team in the league. I want to go play and finish my career there. I want to be able to do something different. And Sivasspor probably honored that with respect. And my other guess is maybe in that contract extension, there might have been a clause saying, look, I'll extend with you guys for the next 4 years. But if somebody comes knocking and I want to leave, please honor it. Which is not, I think, I'm sure we've seen that many times before.
Yeah.
So that's my guess. And it's a very good deal. I thought, when I originally thought about Uğur, I thought, man, there goes another 2-3 mil because of Yabancı Kuralı and, these Anadolu clubs are always ripping the big teams apart with the, the transfer fees. So it's a good deal if it comes through. I wouldn't be shocked if Erdem Timur pulls something last minute, but as of now, it looks like a good deal.
Yeah. But wouldn't you say they're risking relegation? Losing Uğur like that?
Maybe you can tell us better as the Sivas man himself.
I'm just critically thinking. But
yeah, Samet, tell me this. If Emre Hatayspor gets injured this easily on our turf, imagine what'll happen to him on that potato field.
It's easy, bro. It's easy. Sivas is just very respectful, honorful people. Sivas people are like that. They're just great people in general. They're fair. So that's how they did it with Uğur. And whatever happened, Erdem Timur went to Sivas on a cold day. Went into that room.
Oh my God.
And, another desk he saw and he pulled it out and laid it right there. And we all know how big it is. So it was a non-negotiable deal for Galatasaray.
Yeah. What's interesting is a lot of fans were actually not that happy about this transfer and the fact that we're even negotiating with Sivasspor. I mean, you talked about how honorable Sivas
it's
people
being
are.
Exaggerated. That whole thing, that's so ridiculous. Everyone, it's not Rize, brah. It's not Rize level. It's just a stupid mistake they did. They apologized for it when Muslera was down and they scored a goal. Yeah, we know that situation.
It's not
No,
only that.
everyone needs to chill with Sivasspor, please.
Nah, bro. Riza Çalınbay, he has a Galatasaray complex, bro. He always bitches about anything Galatasaray related.
Exactly.
Okay, I think we should move on. Honestly, I think we should move on.
What happened? Your ass couldn't handle the oven, huh?
No. There's no oven.
And add to that, the Sivasspor president and owner, I think, is a known Fenerbahçe, right?
Yeah, they're a bit of a cunts of supporting Fenerbahçe.
Oh, then what do you expect, bro? Jesus Christ.
But not all.
As a disclaimer, of course, we're not here recommending and saying that we should not do any transfer business with them. Clearly, we're capable of making a friendly deal for both parties. But I'm just saying, some fans are not upset about it. I think it's silly, but that was some talk going around about it. So, yeah.
Let's move on to shitting on other people, like Hatayspor, Volkan Demirel, for example, because we've been banging left and right. We've been saving all the goals for the Fenerbahçe people, it seems like, because we put in 7 to Emre Belezoğlu's Başakşehir. We put in 3 to Jorge Jesus, or is it in Portuguese? Jorge Jesus, Fenerbahçe. And now Volkan Demirel, another 4 goals to another Febele. So I'm loving it. And I always thought he has the weirdest talks and jawline. So he has a lot of things to roast about, but I won't go too much into depth, except for one thing I wanted to highlight. When he actually went to the UEFA Conference League to open up the balls when he couldn't.
Oh, man, I remember that. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Man, dude, he's like this big, muscular dude. He can't open a ball.
And
that
the
has
guy,
a little
the host
paper.
or something,
Yeah, the
says
host
like,
had to like go and open it. Like
Yeah.
he opened it super simply.
no, the host
I
was
mean-
like, it's even difficult for a goalkeeper, and Volkan was like, it don't open, and I was like, here, give me, and he just opened. Yeah, it opens if you do the right direction.
What can you expect from the Aya, man?
Aynen. Speaking
Primitive
of
mind.
Aya, another more memorable moments, of course, the Snyder goals, left and right. I think I'll never forget those. Most memorable. Yeah, indeed. Shall we move on to Hatayspor game? Or
The
is there anything
Hatayspor
else
game.
you want to mention? Yasin, Emre?
I mean, before we move on, it's kind of recent to today. I think our U19 team played against Fenerbahce in the league game today within their U19 league, and
Good point.
they beat them 4-0, just like their big brothers and abis. So that's a great sight to see. And at that game, usually you see a lot of staff. You don't see a lot of players involved too much, but at that game we had a lot of our youth players like Emin Bayram, Metehan Baltacı. You even had Kerem, you had Yusuf, and then you had Mertens there as well. The only Yabancı to watch that game with all the young guys, and I thought that was lovely to see. Mertens is constantly proving to us
He's
fans
such a
that
mensch, man.
he's such a mensch.
No,
He's
yeah.
such a great guy.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's
Yeah.
that's
Love
nice.
the dude.
There's also a few extra news I have. Olimpiu Morutsan at Pisa is doing very well because he scored again today. His 5th goal in the Serie B. So yeah, let's hope Pisa promotes and we make that purchase option an obligation, so we can get some money out of him.
Probably not getting a lot.
I think
was
it was
hoping we
like
get more, but-
5.5 ish, if I remember.
It's about
correctly.
what we paid for him, no?
Yeah,
Didn't we pay like
true.
5,
I-
6 for him?
I think we would still profit like a mil or two.
Especially
remember
with
correctly.
like anything we buy in euro, we profit from. Especially considering the Turkish lira valuation. So it's like we're investing in the currency.
Mhm.
You can look at it that way.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah. And another stat I saw, which was interesting, is we've collected the most points since 2005 and 6, which was 44, as of the 18th match. And after switching to a 3-point system, so they've become champions like 6 of 7 seasons in which we reached 42 points in this process, except for 2004 and 5 is what's said on Optacan for Galatasaray, which was an interesting one.
That is cool. And I think given the difficulty of our schedule, that's even more impressive.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, I wanted to mention 2 more things. You know how we always hype up players in the transfer period? We talk about it. That would be good. This would be good. I just want to highlight how awesome it is. We went from Grilic to Torreira and Andrea Belotti to Icardi. How amazing is that? Like, what is Grilic doing now at Ajax? What is Belotti doing now at Roma? Where they left.
I'm so happy we got Torreira because I was one of the guys that was not hyped about Grilic at all. I know some of the guys in the WhatsApp group was super upset for like a week when it was announced that he was going to was that you said Ajax, right? It was Ajax?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Grilic.
and like
And his
people
dad.
were like oh yeah, his dad, the manager. They didn't want to come to Turkey, but it worked out, bro. I love it.
Oh.
And below, bro, Icardi instead of Belotti. Come on.
Oh,
I think we
speaking of
there.
Icardi, before we go to the match, just have a look on Twitter. Latest tweet of his ex-wife or current wife. I don't know what it is, what their relationship is, but there's some good stuff. Like she always shows.
NSFW, just
Oh
warning.
yeah, not suitable for work.
don't open it near your wives, lads.
Yeah. I made that mistake. Good shit. I don't know any woman who can look that ugly and that hot at the same time. It's just ridiculous. It's weird.
I
don't
thought
know,
we were
maybe it's the
a
Instagram
football
filters.
podcast.
Yeah. Let's go. Who's doing the
We can move on,
introductions
we can
for
move on.
Hatayspor?
I'll take it over. I'm not as good as John We're missing John, the coach, who usually does these introductions, but today I'm going to take over.
All right.
I'll try to replicate what he does. All right. So, Galatasaray versus Hatayspor. We came out of the gates with a 4-2-3-1, coming in very motivated after a derby. We start with Muslera in the goalie position. Our back line consisted of Dubois, Abdülkerim Bardakçı, Nelson, and Bowie. In midfield, we had the trio of Oliveira, Torreira, and Mata. On the left wing, we had Kerem Aktürkoğlu and Barış Yılmaz on the right. And of course, we had the GOAT start at striker, Icardi. And Hatayspor, they had Yıldırım at their striker position. Their midfield consisted of Ribeiro, Bujima, and Abid. Their wingers were I can't pronounce his name, Lob Zanide, and Kabi on the right. A for effort. Their back line consisted of Adekugbe, Yılmaz, Vranyas, and Körekçi. And their their keeper was terrible, but Erci Kardeşler was their keeper. So, in the game, I think we started off pretty well. Very press oriented. We found our first goal with Kerem in the 9th minute. And then proceeded to find 2 more goals right before the end of the first half with Juan Mata. And our 4th goal came from Babatimbi Gomis in the second half.
Somebody.
Babatimbi Gomis. Babatimbi Gomis. Oh, okay. So, I really liked how our team came out of the gates in the first half. A lot of people were expecting our team to be, not as concentrated after a derby because people were giving a lot of examples of how teams would win derbies and then go on and lose a stretch of games. Example, Trabzonspor beat Fenerbahce, but then they, conceded 5 goals from 2 different teams, right? So people were expecting that kind of outcome, so to say.
Honestly, I was looking to be another game where we wouldn't be able to score, where we would say, it should have been a 10-0 already. But the end of the game, we were 1-0 ahead or 2-1, That's the game I expected.
Yeah, we had insane amount of pressure in the first half.
Half was the most half I enjoyed the past 5 years, maybe. I don't know. It was just a great half.
We broke a record, I think. I don't know. I can't remember what the dates.
I guess.
Yeah, 43 times in the box.
Shit.
That we met with the ball.
Yeah.
43 times, lads. That's insane. Mm-hmm. That's almost attack in the box per minute, guys. That explains a lot. Yeah, so we finished the game off with 3.54 XG. Meanwhile, Hatay only had a 0.56 XG.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like is seeing Mata. I'm still not fully convinced with Mata's play style in this team. Obviously, Mertens couldn't play because he got yellowed last game. So you had to sit this one out. And
right.
Honestly, the stats, if you look at the stats, Mata had a 9 rating overall, which I think is undeserved, if you ask me. Sure, he scored 2 goals, but how did he score those 2 goals? It was Icardi mainly. He made those 2 goals happen. And you can argue about him being there at that spot so he could score them, which Mertens doesn't do often. Mertens has its different qualities, which he helps in defense, supports the team, left, right. He's everywhere except maybe less in the box, which you'd expect him to be. And Mata actually does that better, you would say. And hence he scored the 2 goals.
I've never seen Mata being this weak and incapable of making a pass. Yasin gave me deservedly. He did say I'm being a little bit harsh on Mata, and I was. But this is my reasoning. This is Mata, bro. This is Mata, the guy that won every single trophy there is to win. And when you see someone at this caliber, at this class, we say form is temporary, class is permanent, right? What the hell? He couldn't make a single pass forward. He taking too long. He lost so many balls. And it's disheartening to see because this Mata played really well. He like form-wise, he was better when he first came against Istanbulspor than he is right now. Like, what happened to you, bro? You had a whole World Cup to get in shape. Like, what happened? Like, I'm like expecting way more. Maybe my expectations are a little too high, but I don't know. Yasin, do you have anything to say about like that? Like, I know you were mad at me, but like, what do you think about that? Now that you have like a point of reference where I'm coming from.
Yeah. No, I completely understand the criticism and I agree with it. But I think it was a bit harsh. And even what I read after the game from a lot of fans, I still think it's harsh given the scenario that he was in that game. And just in general, Juan Mata, how many of you guys really thought he would start this game? I personally didn't think about it. You guys heard me on the last podcast. I said, you should probably start with Sergio up front, at the cam position. And if you didn't guess that, you probably would have guessed maybe Yunus to start in that position. Or maybe you would have thought about a trio of, Lucas, Berkan, and somebody else. Either way, Juan Mata didn't seem like a starting caliber player.
Are you forgetting about someone else?
Ankara Messi.
Yes, I clearly did forget about Ankara Messi.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. He's a Karadeniz boy, just like me. Yes, he is. But
yeah, why did you forget
I didn't
about
like
him?
that. I don't know, because the kid barely plays, and it's unfortunate. But
why do you think that is, Yasin?
We'll get to that. I just want to quickly talk about Juan Mata, if that's okay.
Sure.
So,
All right.
I'm just gonna defend him a little bit, if that's fine with you guys.
Yeah.
So Emre said that he lost the ball a lot, and I agree. He made a lot of missed passes, but if you look at the statistics, Juan Mata lost the ball 10 times playing the center attacking midfielder position, and that's normal. You make a lot of more difficult passes. You need to make a critical pass, so it's just in general more difficult. So the chances of you losing it are higher. You're surrounded by more players of the opposing team. He had 10. Barış on the wing also lost 10 balls. Kerem on the wing lost 16 possessions. Sergio, who played in a deeper, safer role, lost possession 12 times. So 2 more than Juan Mata. So from a statistical perspective, Juan Mata, yes, he wasn't great, but he wasn't abysmal by any means either. Number 2, I didn't think his supporting cast on the wings were excellent by any means. Mario Cardi is excellent up top. He's, I said it during the chat. I said he's a complete striker. Not only does he make the runs right, not only does he a great finisher, but he also helps the players behind him and to his side. Okay, but Barış Alper and Kerem, we'll talk about them in more detail. But
they were played as strikers, though. Like Okan Buruk deliberately told both Kerem and Yilmaz, go inside and go up top. And Dubois and Boe were basically our wingers the whole game.
Right. And that's a great point. Barış Alper and Kerem are both players that you've seen play as either second strikers or strikers. That definitely applies to Barış, as you saw against Fenerbahce. And Kerem, under different managers, has played basically a second striker role. I think under Fatih Terim, he was like that. So they're not your very creative, give and go pass, let me help my midfielder type players. So I think Juan Mata had a greater challenge in that regard. And let's be honest, the guy is old. He has been consistently playing for a long time now. Sure, Mertens is older and Mertens runs the pitch more. He's more careful, but Mertens has been playing consistently at a high level for a long time under Napoli before he came to us. That's not the case for Juan Mata. In my opinion, Juan Mata, the way that we should use him is in the second half. If we're attacking, we have the momentum, we're touching the ball, but we're just not making that decisive pass behind the defenders that we need. That's when you throw Juan Mata in there for his magic, as we always say. In this game, I'm not sure about the decision to start him, but with that said, to wrap it up, I really respect Okan for starting him, because what better time than now? Juan Mata is an excellent player to have in your team. We have him on a 1-year deal. The second one's not guaranteed, but his presence is huge to this team. And you need to keep players of his caliber happy. Your number one
touched every player. I mean, he gives opportunities to every player. Like, there's a whole cohesiveness where everyone's just ready to go in and play ball, no matter if they're on the bench, no matter if they are gonna play for the cup. Everyone just gets their opportunity, except for Yuisuf Demir. But I don't know.
Well, yeah, dude,
Just
you have to
championships
give him
vibes all over. And for the people that don't get the opportunity, I don't think it's an issue of Okan Buruk. the team. It's probably an issue with your attitude and how you feel about things. And that's what I have to say to those people.
I don't know if I agree with that part of it, because Seferovic is also a player who has not been smelling the field, and I don't think his attitude
he was not good enough.
Right, he wasn't good enough.
Better people, but on the 10 position, I mean, we've seen Yuisuf has talent. So instead of Mata, he could have been the person to start. And I think the main reason he did not start is probably because he thinks too good of himself.
I think you're hating.
I'm not hating. I'm not hating.
You're hating. That's what you're doing.
But
you're hating.
Do you remember when he came to the airport and the reporter was like, speaking in Turkish, didn't respond. Then he switched to English, and then he gave this cocky, "I'm Turkish, ben Türk'üm, Türkçe biliyorum," not even in the correct way.
Okay,
that attitude just for me says a lot. Like I can feel people, and I'm feeling Halil Dervişoğlu vibes from him. And it's a waste of our 6 million euros, if you ask me. And the only way to fix this is to loan him out, to get his ass back to reality. Because sure, you played with Barcelona, but that doesn't mean you are good. You gotta work hard.
You're using that against the kid, in my opinion, right now. Look, he's 19 years old. Coming from
hence the attitude,
the Austrian league, La Liga, to now the Turkish league. That's not an easy transition. And look at the players that's ahead of him. You know, I think he was one of our last transfers on deadline day or whatever it is, with like Mata and many others. He has the least experience coming in. There's a lot of pressure to do well. 60 million euros is not little bit of money. It's a lot of money for a 19-year-old. And the expectations are incredible. And like I said, you got Mertens ahead of you. You got Juan Mata ahead of you. You got Yunus ahead of you. You know, there's a lot of players in front of you in the pecking order. And that's not going to be easy to, you know, try and get over and move on from. Especially when, like you said, you know, he's coming from a big background. His confidence is high. He definitely has a little bit of cockiness to him, but that's not the end of the world. You shouldn't hold that against the kid. But what I do agree with you is he should be loaned out. And that was actually part of the rumor with our approach for Haji Wright. You know, not to backtrack now, but I think our original offer for Haji Wright, the rumor was 5 million euros plus Yuisuf, plus Ross, plus I think Emre Tashdemir.
On loan.
Plus the keys to the club. Başka, like, how the steel armor, bro. What else?
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's not like we were giving all those players for free. It was going to be loan offers, right? Maybe Emre Tashdemir to keep, but why would we give 5 million plus Yuisuf on a permanent deal and Ross, who just invested money into? So I believe those are probably loans and they didn't like it, whatever. That's a different story. But clearly, he does need experience to play. And if he's not loaned out now, I think a loan move for next season will be a good idea, depending on how the roster looks then. But,
listen, can I ask you, what is his actual position? You guys are saying he could play in Mata's place, but isn't he like actually a winger? And when he came, dude, that's what he played in Barcelona. That's what I remember. Bro, what do you mean? Yeah. No,
he's not a winger though. He's to me, he's not a winger. Like, no way. Rashidska is a winger, and we've been complaining about wingers a lot and said, finally, a real winger.
If that's what you're saying, I agree with you. Winger. I agree with you. I don't see him being a winger. So why did he, I don't know why we transferred him if we're not going to play him in midfield. One. And dude, honestly, sometimes I feel like he has this complex that you're saying, Samet, like, oh, I played in Barcelona and stuff, now I have to come back to Turkey of all leagues to play. Maybe he does think like that. Maybe that's why he's not seeing as much
Why do you think Okan wouldn't give him a chance?
I don't know.
There must be a reason like that. There's no other way.
I mean, again, I also, dude, the guy, I remember that interview, Samet. The guy speaking to him in Turkish, he's not responding. And then he's thinking, oh, maybe he doesn't speak Turkish. He starts speaking to him in English, and then the dude goes, I speak Turkish. Why are you speaking to me in English? Like, bro, are you stupid or what? The guy spoke to you in Turkish, you didn't answer.
It's just, you could feel, not good vibes when he came.
That's what I'm saying. It felt like he didn't want to be there.
It's weird.
All right. I'd like to move on, honestly.
Oh,
I think we're exaggerating, and he's had chances. I don't know what you mean by he hasn't been given opportunities. He played in the friendlies. He played in the league games, even though it was few minutes. You know, what do you expect for him to play 45 minutes when all those players I mentioned before are ahead of him? And a lot of our games have not been 4-5-0. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We've had a lot of 1-0 or, you know, 1 goal difference games up until now. Let's like get ourselves back to reality here. What are you going to do? Throw on Yuisuf Demir, a 19-year-old kid, to win the game for you? Or are you going to put on Mata? Or are you going to play Sergio? Or are you going to play Mertens in that position? Or are you going to switch it 2 forwards?
Emin Bayram, enough.
If he's not ready to play
Bayram
those
has
games,
experience, and Emin Bayram doesn't have 3 class players ahead of him.
Yasin,
like
if he's
Yusuf
not
does.
ready, if he's not there to play, why are we spending $6 million on him when we could have spent
It's a
that
long-term
money?
investment. That's
Yeah,
right. I thought we discussed
I agree
this.
with Yasin. Yeah, the 6, it is indeed to try out his talent.
Long-term investment, Diorlaria.
Anyway,
Emre, is that not what we
let's
discussed? Will you buy a 19-year-old to play him in the starting lineup today? Is that what you do?
Bro, we have way too many people that we need to produce and sell. You know, I don't want him.
Do you not talk about Yuisuf Demir when people complain about Galatasaray not making long-term investments with young players?
We're making investments, but that's what I'm saying. So I think we have too many. I don't want another situation that we had from last year where we have too many investments and not enough people, you know, that can actually carry the game when needed. You know, if Demir is not going to be ready.
It's a cohesion of all things. It's not only
one thing. And I agree with
thing.
you. I think he should be loaned out because there's no point of him sitting on a bench, you know, when he has a lot of... I think he has
but
potential.
next season, we don't know. Mata might not be extended because his contract is 1+1. Mertens, I'm pretty sure will extend because, it's 1+1
but you guys,
well. But
you just said he's not a winger, but we don't know if he can play number 10 either. Like, I don't know if he's going to play number 10. You know,
We'll see. I mean, who thought that Barış was going to play striker in the beginning of the season?
Exactly.
Emre, up until like a couple of weeks ago, you were criticizing that idea. Things change. And
what? Criticizing what?
Barış playing striker, the idea of it.
I didn't really...
Yes, you did.
What did I say exactly?
You were calling out people for saying that he should play striker, and like I'm just saying that things can change as we've praised Okan Buruk for being able to do. He's played winger, he's played number 10. When we talked about this when we transferred him, we're not really sure what his best fit is, and I agree with you guys. He's not a true winger, but let's see what happens. You know, I just don't know why in January when this kid has barely played because there's so many players ahead of him when we've had so many games are to the last minute. How many games have we won last minute because of Gomi's savior that we're complaining this kid's not playing? Come on, guys.
Ankara Messi.
Ankara Messi, yeah, we expecting him to be Ankara Messi, bro. Like,
not from day one. Come on, adjust your expectations.
You did
I will tell you that.
That's the sound bite from day one.
It was for fun.
Also, let me reiterate. I don't recall saying anything about Barış. I even said I think after the
I'll pull the receipts, bro. No worries.
I'll put the recording in this episode.
Exactly. Pull the other one too. I did say he's a better striker than he's a winger. I did say that. I recall saying that actually.
Okay, we're gonna check the receipts.
Go ahead, check it, bro.
You'll hear it on the next episode.
But let's move on, please. This hatred is too much.
Demir, bro.
In general, man of the match against Hatayspor, boys.
According to FOTMob and Sofa, it's Mata, but
no.
Hell no.
No.
It's Torreira. Torreira or Icardi. I'm gonna say Torreira, man.
I'm in between Sasha, Torreira, and Icardi. Dubois was also amazing this game, above his normal place. What we've noticed, Boe's been solid and he's been consistently solid.
He's always good. So
always.
I'm pushing him to the side, bro. He's like just solid. Yeah. Like he never lets me down.
And to me,
Dubois, dude.
Icardi could have if he scored, he was man of the match for sure. That's why I have to go with Torreira. But Icardi was just amazing. I mean, I'm just sad our team didn't supply him more and better because he was pissed about that himself a few times.
That's why I was saying I don't like Barış at winger, bro. Because you guys watched the first half. I'm sure a lot of people will see what I'm saying. This kid
had a few good passes.
I can recall one good pass that Icardi was just slightly late to. Right,
exactly.
But like he had way too many times where he didn't pass the right time, and he took shots from irrelevant spots, and he would just dude, he would shoot it out of the damn stadium. Okay, I like when he's always making runs behind the defense, or he's just playing like a number 9, bro. I don't know. He was great against Fener, but I don't expect him to play there all the time in that sort of role.
But the thing is, against Hatayspor, you won't have a Barış Yılmaz running behind the defense.
That's also
Hatay
true.
Is lying deep. They parked the bus hard. Like
that's why I was
huge
expecting
bus.
Yunus to play. That's why I wanted Yunus to play. He's the one that opens up defenses like that. So I don't know. I didn't really like the Barış starting.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, for sure. In a game where we have control and we're the ones that are in their half, we don't exactly need what Barış is really great for, which you guys pretty much hit the nail on the head for. You need a guy who's going to be able to hold the ball and make smart decisions and find the players that are making the runs, and that's not exactly what Barış is known for. So I think Icardi definitely got frustrated with Barış many times that game. And I think we saw that, right?
Kerem.
Kerem is Kerem. He's been like that. It's less of a surprise. And Kerem is actually like, he scores the goals. Like, you can't really complain too much. If you want a player better than Kerem, that's his age, that's Turkish, good luck. Because there's a good chance that he's not in this league right now. You're getting into Cengiz Ünder zone, right? Who is worth 35-40 million playing for top European clubs. So I am thankful for Kerem. I will criticize him when he makes mistakes, but the guy deserves his starting spot. He plays, he's matured incredibly, and he's just getting better and better. So,
and it's not to say Barış was bad. Let's not give that impression. It's just the thing that Icardi got pissed off about is how many times Barış screwed up passing the ball, shooting the ball, not passing in the right direction, or leaving it to someone who was open, taking the most idiotic approach to getting into the box. That's what people are probably upset about. But like his positioning and his help with the team is actually improving, and I like to see that. I really like seeing that.
Dubois and Kerem, how they divided the field between each other was perfect. Like, Dubois didn't interfere with Kerem's positions and the other way around, which Boe and Barış Alper Yılmaz wasn't that great. It was still okay, but you could see Kerem and Dubois' positioning on the field. They splitted the field perfectly between each other. That whole wing was amazing for them. And I think maybe Barış could improve that with Boe.
What did you guys think about Dubois at defending? I know attack-wise he was actually pretty good. We finally seen a left back make an assist, a decent cross or a pass. Finally. Okay. But I think Dubois has a little bit of a little issue with returning when he goes up the field, because we gave away quite a bit of attacks on his side of the field this game. They caught like 2-3 chances that Muslera saved. Okay, so
it's hard to judge.
That was very
hard to judge because both Dubois and Boe didn't play as left backs. They played as left wings, honestly.
But Boe has no problem going back, unlike Dubois, right?
Yeah, and
Did
that's
they
why
ever
we
come
love
from
Boe,
his side?
right?
Exactly. Boe can play that type of game. I don't know if Dubois is that fit. I mean, he's not making me miss Van Aanholt because we still concede, plenty of attacks from his side as of late. But I don't know. That was quite concerning because during that game, bro, it was like 1-0. It could have been 1-1 at points 2-1. You know what I mean? So, dude, Muslera, man. I don't know. Knock on wood, this man has been great. This season, he's been fantastic.
Do you remember what Muslera did against Hatay?
He saved the ball?
No,
like 3 times?
Like there was this position
dribbling
where
past the defender.
Yeah,
I mean,
on
that's
the half of the field almost.
Yeah.
He dribbled past. That takes balls. I was scared, honestly.
That's why he's El Capitan.
That's Muslera for you, bro. I still remember the time he did that against Eto and like midfield when he was playing for Antalyaspor.
Exactly.
That was crazy.
Yeah. And he always does it successfully, right?
Yeah. I think so. Knock on wood, he continues to.
I know.
But if you don't mind, I just want to quickly touch on the Leo Dubois, defending aspect, which I think is valid, but there's reasoning for it too. So if you take a look at who he's surrounded by, right, at left back position, to his right is Abdülkerim Bardakçı, who often likes to press high and be behind the striker's back, right? And if you pay attention, I love Abdülkerim Bardakçı. I think at 2.8 mil, he's been an incredible investment. I think he's done way more than anybody could have expected. But a lot of times, he's sometimes late to that. The defender, the striker would flick it over, and he's having to catch up and sprint back instead. So that's not great for Leo Dubois at left back, right? That makes it a little bit more difficult to cover that left side of the field. Number 2, look to his front. You have Sergio Oliveira, and you got Kerem. Kerem, as great as he is as an attacker, he's not the best at tracking back, and we've seen issues with that between him and Marcao.
He was amazing in the Fenerbahce game in tracking back.
Kerem,
he's
one
improved.
Of the best at tracking back.
I think he's improved, but in general, I don't think he's the best at it, right? And then you got Sergio Oliveira, who is playing, next to Lucas. He's not a CDM by any means, and he's not the
Oliveira.
Did I say Oliveira again? I might just have to accept. You guys have to accept it at this point.
Go ahead.
But he's not the best at tracking back either. So he's surrounded by a lot of players who give him more responsibility than he would normally have. And at the end of the day, he's not left back either, guys. He's a right back.
No, obviously we know that. We can't judge for that.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, I agree with the criticism that our left side is a little exposed, but it's for a reason with, fine reason. And that's also why we're looking for a new left back too. So it is what it is, but I'm glad that we're addressing it.
I feel like we definitely missed Mertens this game. And let me say why, because Mertens is, for his age, man, this guy can press. Well, I don't know if it's just being a small person, you can just last longer physically.
What is that?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, look, tall people, right? Tall people, their legs give out much more quick, right? But when you're smaller, look it up, dude.
Sure. You're the science guy, my man.
Yeah. Same with your heart, bro. Bigger people have heart issues later in life. Okay.
Go ahead. Tall people can't run as fast as...
No, not as fast. I say their legs don't keep up with them as long.
All right, sure.
Jesus Christ. Samet always trying to bend what people say.
No.
Now I forgot what I was going to talk about.
Cut the music.
Jesus Christ. Okay, Mertens. Okay, our pressing wasn't as good. I found that people got around Mata, pushed Mata over really quick, man. I feel like that's another reason why we did concede quite a bit of counterattacks. We didn't have that pressing that strength there. And also, dude, I don't know, Mertens is just solid when he's playing number 10. He's giving passes. I bet McCarty missed his bud that last game.
Yes. And yeah, I mean, Mata's not known for that. But again, you got to credit the guy for being in the right place at the right time, not once, but twice. So again, that's not lucky. That's knowing what he's doing. And, he lost the ball many times, but he tracked back. He kept his head up. And that's all you can ask for from a guy who's not starting for you.
I don't want to sound like a Mata hater here, bro. No, I love Mata, bro. But I'm just saying, we did kind of like he's not in shape. He's not ready to play. It's just
we definitely missed Mertens this game. That's what I'm saying. That's a fact.
This game ended 4-0, but I'm telling you, if Mertens was playing, it could have been 5-6-0, maybe even more. I don't know.
The first half, we gave them no breathing room. The pressing, the amount of times we were in their box, just beautiful. Loved it.
Speaking of press, before I forget, Samet, I'm sorry, but we have to talk about the fans. This was a Friday game. So sold out. And that's not normal, first of all. For a weekday game, that's not normal. Usually weekday games, you see 35, 40. It says 40, but it's actually 30. This was sold out. And if you look at any single video from the game, the atmosphere, it's full stadium. People are involved. I watched videos and vlogs of people who were at the stadium. They're saying this, imagine the Başakşehir away section multiply by across the entire stadium. Nobody shut up. We were doing waves throughout the game. People were doing the light show. People did not be quiet the entire time. It was loud.
I hate the light show at 60, 70 minutes. Just shut up, man.
But
I'm such a boomer, bro. He doesn't like new stuff.
Some woke shit light show. What is this
nice.
with their phones and
nice.
shit?
If you were a player on the field, Samet,
light it on fire, bro.
Listen,
I miss
that's
that.
true.
I miss
Yeah.
the flares, man, big time.
Yeah. But we're not allowed to do that, right? I mean, technically.
Because
we're
of
not allowed to do
one
that.
club who burned their own stadium down.
Yeah. But that pressure, man, that you're praising, that's also thanks to our fans, and I hope that keeps up for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I was
That
surprised.
beautiful
I
to
checked
see.
for tickets to see if I could buy someone. One of the listeners were checking with me because I sold my own combina back to the club so other people could go. And it was all sold out, so it was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
So with that said, do we want to move on to the second half?
Yeah, if there's nothing on the first half, we can check which
I
players
think
came
we
in.
went. Exactly, I was gonna say that. So in the second half, we had 4 people come in. So Bafatimbi Gomez came in for Kerem in the 71st. This all happened in the 71st minute. Gomez came in for Kerem, Rashica came in for Oliveira, Berkan came in for Juan Mata, and Yunus Akgün came in for Barış Alper Yılmaz. And then after 6 minutes after the changes happened, Bafatimbi Gomez scored off of Yunus, an assist by Yunus. So, what do you guys feel about that? Okan Buruk is getting performance not just from his first XI, but he's also getting performance off the bench. You need this in a championship race because all your XI is not always going to be there. You're going to need your bench. And look what's happening. He's getting performance from his bench, from Bafatimbi Gomez, guys. This man is almost 38, and he got, I don't know, maybe 20 points of the amount of points, 42 points? I'm going to say like 20 points is from him, 21 or something like that.
Yeah. Legend,
what do you guys think
man.
about that?
Legend. He is so important to this team this year. I mean, how many guys can you find of his caliber, of his character, to be accepting of a bench role? And when he does come on, he does what he needs to and more. I mean, guys, like this is what we were talking about when we transferred him in January, right? You know, he's coming back, he's old, people criticize it, but this is the Gomez that people wanted to see and we're waiting to see, and now we're seeing it under Okan Buruk. He has no complaints. He gets along with a lot of the younger guys. He's always complimenting the younger guys when they improve on social characteristics or whether they improve on field, the way that they play. He's just like a big brother to all of these guys. And he has the experience too. What more can you ask for? He's won championships with this team. He's proven legend, scored goals, broke records, came back, and he's helping again. I mean,
and sometimes you buy a character for the dressing room.
Yes.
I was going to say, Samet, I think we have the best character for a team in this league, bro. Gomez was telling Icardi in the Fenerbahce game, be a little bit more respectful, that was a deserved win, and players were taking picks and everything. He didn't want to take picks, and he didn't want to,
a bit too much character.
overboard.
Ya o zaman da bırak herkes şey yapsın ya biraz Allah'ım yarabbim.
That was look what this guy's thinking of, man.
I mean, in general, Galatasaray players are with character, sure. Except for one. Who was the left back or right back? Scumbag, Fenerbahce, looking like, those Three Stooges guy.
Şener,
aynen, except for him.
I
Such a
Şener
face.
Fatih Terim kept him in check, though, as he usually does.
Yeah, of course.
Unfortunately. But
I didn't really get that vibe from him.
sometimes.
It must be...
I didn't get it while he was here either. I got the vibe when he was at Fenerbahce, but all players, when they go to Fenerbahce, they instantly turn into some douchebags, but that's a different story.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well,
And
that's
so,
what
our
losing
final-
does to you, right? Frustrations, keeping inside, you don't get to bang your wife, and that's what happens.
Anyways.
So we finished off our last change with Fredrik Mitro coming for Torreira. And so that was, I don't know, the second half, we definitely weren't as
good. Thank you. Salam alaikum, my friend. Salam alaikum. Chim bom bom. Bye. Chim bom bom.
Torreira, you did an excellent job, man. Honestly, he was everywhere that game.
That was me. Every time he stole the ball from a counterattack, bro. 13 balls stolen, bro. 13. He has a record at Sampdoria for 14. Okay, absolute legend.
He was everywhere.
He was truly everywhere. Like the amount of times he came back and tackled it from behind cleanly, I was left in awe. Like sometimes I didn't even expect it. Like I would see Hatay coming, and out of nowhere, you see this little guy come from behind and make the most cleanest, perfect tackle so many times. Bro. And he was safe too. He didn't go into challenges recklessly.
Yeah,
like that's easy to do when you're like hyped and winning challenges. Sometimes you lose focus. He didn't lose focus either. That was made it so an amazing performance
for Nelson and Abdülkerim. I would have loved seeing Marcao together with Torreira. They would have owned it. I mean, we're still doing good with Abdülkerim and Nelson.
Can you imagine being a Hatay player? You get the ball and you see like an open field in front of you. You're just licking your lips, right? John would say that. Ready to go and score. But then this little guy, just comes out of nowhere, takes the ball from you, and he says, adios, amigo, and he just brings it back into their own half.
I think they must see it like, those bullfighter things, like with the red drapes and shit. So the Hatayspor people, when they get the ball, matadors. So the Hatayspor players, when they get the ball, they see a bull coming at them, like Torreira, and they don't know what to do. That's how it is probably for them.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. It was great. I loved seeing him play. People were like, Berkan can, actually do... Nah, Berkan cannot do what Torreira does. Berkan does what he does really well, but Torreira is just a different beast. I can't believe we pulled this guy. It's actually nuts that we have him on our team.
He's ours. We paid him off.
And he's ours,
player.
yes.
Yeah, I know. That's what
Can I ask a controversial question? And you don't have to answer this. Torreira or Brazilian Fernando?
That's a good question. Oh, okay. For this team, absolutely Torreira. With the amount of pressing that we do, Torreira, hands down.
Yeah. Wow, difficult decision. I'd say Torreira as well currently, because I also know he has what it takes to be there in the attack. And we've seen that at the Fener game as well, where Okan just let him play attacking midfield player instead of Berkan.
Yeah, Fernando was great, but Torreira is just a whole
more
different
versatile
beast,
as well.
Yeah. And we got him at a younger age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And one thing that I actually liked about Fernando that Torreira doesn't have is
long balls.
His ability to play those long balls, which, relating to this team, Torreira doesn't need that. Mm-mm. He's got a maestro of a long ball player next to him in Sergio. How nice was Sergio's balls that game? Bardakçı too, correct. But Sergio and the long balls, he always finds the opposing winger on the sideline, perfectly weighted pass. This is his thing now. Like, he's consistently doing this so well.
I'm just imagining, what if, like, second half, first half was amazing. Second half was a bit, okay, not as. What if it was a draw at the end of the second half? How would have we spoke today? I wonder.
Obviously, we wouldn't be as happy. We are going on 8 for 8 right now, and that's a record held by people like Fatih Terim and Mustafa Denizli. We would have been upset that he wouldn't be able to reach it. Also, coming off the derby, it would have been, let's be real, we wouldn't be as happy as we are now. Mm-hmm. But it won't be the end of the world because, still we have plenty of games to go. We have plenty of games to play at home.
Sure. But
plenty of time to make it up.
Game-wise, from who came in the second half, I think to me, Berkan Kutlu and Rashica, they weren't that great this game. Berkan, he wasn't the Fenerbahce Berkan for sure. Obviously, he came in later. And Rashica, I have no clue what happened, but he is not worth more than 5 million, if you ask me.
Look, Rashica
he's a winger.
Great up until
he can be good, sure, but if you don't show it
up until the World Cup,
then I won't give you more than 5. 3. 4.
I don't think we're gonna give him more than 5 or whatever because I think our priority is Icardi. But what I was gonna say is before the World Cup, he was actually so good. Seeing how bad Yunus was, right? He wasn't great, and then he got sick. Let's remember this kid had a really bad cold, and he still played despite that. So there's going to be a little bit of loss in form, right?
And that's also the reason why we see this, in my opinion, is because Okan Buruk switches up tactics and gameplay against different opponents. We talked about this last podcast as well. And the only thing you do see consistent indeed is like, okay, the pressing is really something of an identity that we implemented with Galatasaray, right? That press,
I was going to ask you, Samet, this game is more of what you wanted, was it not? The more dominant type of gameplay. We had 60.
That's why I loved it.
Yeah, we had almost 60 plus possession.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Yeah, first half. 60? That's why I said like the first half was the best half I've watched for a while. Exactly how I wanted it, and second half could have been better, but still okay, I guess.
So, I mean, what I was trying to tell you back then is that I believe this team can play like that when needed to, right? And in the end, here you go. Like you wanted that team to establish a base, which we did. Nelson and Abdülkerim came onto their own half. They were in their own half on the halfway line. Mm-hmm. And we just pressed them. We did not give them ball control. We passed around them from time to time. We did exactly what you want. So do you see what I'm saying? Do you believe that we can actually have that type of identity too, but switch up now? Like we can actually play the game we played.
Sure, if I like it, it's a different thing. That's
we played a little. People say we played like an Anadolu team against Fenerbahce. I don't really agree that much because we pressed like crazy.
Yeah.
But we played different game versus Fener, versus Beşiktaş, versus Başak. We didn't go out with the same game plan in any of those games.
Yeah.
So this goes to show that Okan Buruk can't switch up his gameplay from team to team.
Yeah. And one final thing I want to add to the second half: the reason Dubois and Boe were able to move completely up as wingers was Torreira. He single-handedly allowed that for them.
He's an insurance policy,
it's just ridiculous how he played. It's award-winning game for him. So,
absolutely.
With that said, let's move on to predictions. So we don't have anything else on the game against Hatayspor.
Yasin, if you have anything to add.
No, I think we covered pretty much everything.
All right. So we got next game against Alanyaspor, a Turkish cup game.
Antalyaspor. Oh, that one. Okay.
Well, Antalya is a league game, right?
Yeah. Yep, you're right.
Which one's first?
No, Alanya. Right. I forgot about that one.
Yeah. So that's on Tuesday, 17th of January, which is in 2, 3, 4 days or something like that. Yeah, what do you guys think of that? I don't know what the position of Alanya in the league or where they stand. I think it's like 8th, 9th. So,
Yasin, you want to take this over or should I?
I mean, I don't know. This is tough because playing away. I think it's a cup game. I don't know how much focus is going to be there. I don't know how much care Alanya is going to put towards this game because a cup is something that they can actually win as opposed to Super League. So they might put a little bit more extra effort. I haven't been tracking them, but I'm still going to stay confident in my team, of course. I'll say 3-1 win.
3-1 win. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not going to give my prediction.
Yeah, it's been working, man. Ever since you stopped giving predictions, we've been winning. And
the more you say that, the more the magic of it.
That's all you, man. It's all you. Well, Francesco Farioli, team of him, I rated him in his beginning years. He was doing really good. I don't know what happened the past 2 years. It's been it's been less with him. But in general, I think 2-0 will beat Alanya and move on.
Alanya has picked up form though lately. They beat Trabzonspor 5-0, bro.
That's insane, isn't it? Yeah, we remember that when we were discussing it. But we're not Trabzonspor, bro.
Yeah.
That's the difference, yeah.
So what about the Antalya game? What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, when is the Antalya game? It's a Turkish league game. And an important note, if we win this game, it will be Okan Buruk's 9th win in a row, which will be marked in history. I don't think any other coach has accomplished that.
Not even Fatih Terim?
I think
sure
Fatih
Fatih
Terim
Terim-
has 8.
I read some other sources that he did win 9 in a row. I didn't fact check it myself, but there was apparently some, differences in people's statements about that. So either way, he's definitely making history.
Exactly. Yeah. It's very good what he's doing, for sure. And Antalya, I think the only worry I have in general, when teams are close to the relegation spots, and Antalyaspor is 15th, which is like one place above it, it's super dangerous. They become like Real Madrid and Barcelona. I don't know what happens in their motivation, just not to relegate or something. It becomes super dangerous. And that's the only worry I have. But from what I understand, Yasin, there's an important factor as well.
Yes, sir.
Which?
Oh, me? Sure. So they got quite a bit of injuries and suspensions going on, which even makes it easier for us. Doğukan Sınık, the kid that they used to have, was sold to Hull City, which returned recently on loan, which scored a goal today in his first appearance back. Unfortunately, got injured, so he will be missing that game. They have another player,
Unfortunately,
Gacha.
he says.
Unfortunately for him, I feel bad. He's a good player. Unfortunately for Antalyaspor. Fortunately for us, Gacha, another player, is injured for them. Freddy, another player that usually plays for them pretty often, is injured. Haji Wright, Mr. American striker, is injured. I think he got injured today. Another very important player for them, Fernando, in their midfield, got a red card today. So he's going to be missing our game as well. And another player, Fedor Kudryashov, the guy that I think Emre praised last time we played them in Antalya as a center back, I believe. He's missing as well. He got carded today. So that's a lot of injuries. That's a lot of cards. I already thought we would win comfortably. Now I think we're definitely going to win comfortably. I made a prediction of 6-0 last time for this game, which we were on track for at halftime. Just for the fun of it, I'm gonna guess 6-0 again, just for the fun of it. But what do you guys think?
Okay. Damn.
I'm not allowed to think.
You're. That's the disrespect against Nuri Şahin. He's the coach, yeah. Don't forget.
He's a coach, but again, he has a lot of players.
Yeah. What happened to getting Nuri Şahin, by the way? What happened to Nuri Şahin? Why is he 15th in the league?
I don't know, but after he beat Trabzon 5-2, that's where everything started going downhill for him.
He got the Trabzon curse, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I rate him as a coach. I think he has what it takes to be a solid coach. Yeah,
he has that Galatasaray character.
I'd rather not have us comment about him until after we play, maybe, because I'm a little superstitious. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
so maybe we save those comments for after.
I'm gonna say 3-0. I feel like we're gonna keep the 0 again. I don't know why.
If we keep getting these clean sheets, I think Muslera's on track to break a record too.
Really? I don't think so. I think he had a killer season in 2013-14. I think it was the season where he scored a goal as well. The whole team scored a goal. How insane is that? Every player scores a goal. Anyway.
That'd be great.
Not to dwell too much about it. Did you guys have anything else to mention?
I think that about wraps everything up, right? We spoke about everything we needed to.
Yeah, and just a separate request to all listeners: if there's any criticism, if there's anything that you really like that you want us to keep doing, please let us know on Twitter and all that. Just a separate request from myself directly. So
we have
any listener? Yeah,
but we might have answered those already. Let's have a look. This one is from Taha Joshkun 233 at Twitter. He's saying, what did you guys think about Icardi last game? He was pretty pissed off that he couldn't score. That's one. Was that the case? I think I did see some things about him going to the dressing room and Okan answering this question as well, right?
Yeah, just to quickly answer that one. I don't think any official comment was made. They did ask Okan in the post-game conference what happened.
Yeah, he said, I also just simply said,
yeah, I went to the dressing room. I didn't see what happened. I saw rumors of Icardi being annoyed that, he didn't get the passing that he offer to his teammates. I saw rumors of him being frustrated that the team kind of dropped off in the second half instead of attacking like we did in the first. But in my personal opinion, I don't think there's anything to worry about. He's been a great character, and everybody seems to be getting along quite well. So,
Yasin, I heard another rumor that he needed to take a shit. That's why he went to the dressing room immediately.
Yeah,
possible.
Anything.
Possible. And then another question from Geseli Limon, Genjo Vekili. Says, do you think there's a possibility we can get Icardi?
I hope so. I
think it's possible.
Yes, it is. I think it's possible.
You think so?
Yeah. PSG
Dude, this guy
has a lot of money. PSG doesn't worry about selling him for a high transfer fee. The only thing PSG worries about is his salary. And the question is, can we get Icardi? Because yes, we can. Erden Timur goes to that desk and pulls it there. The question is, can we pay Icardi? And that's the question we should ask.
In this planet where you gave Falcao 5 million plus euros as wages, okay?
If we can do that, for sure.
If he's worth that much, then Icardi's worth twice that amount, okay? So we'll get sponsors, we'll find people.
No. That's a lot of money at the end of the day. Yeah. But I think we can hopefully find somewhere in between, Emre. Obviously, the currency is way worse now than it was with Falcao, and Falcao was a huge mistake already. But I think the question is, does Icardi want to stay here? Because at the end of the day, he is the one that decides how much money he's going to request to play.
Or is it Wanda?
I don't know. Maybe it's a mixture of both, but he seems happy here. He has a lot of comfort. He has a lot of flexibility. If coach stays, which I hope he does, the two have a good relationship, respectful so far. He's a star on the team. You have fans getting tattoos of Icardi. Did you guys see that one?
Yeah.
So if he's happy,
bleaching their hair.
Yeah, man. And he had an interview. I don't know the details of it, but I saw that he said he's happy here. He relates to home when he's here with the atmosphere and the way fans treat him and respect him. So those are all good signs. We'll see what happens. I hope he does stay.
I don't know, man. If he has a really good season with us, I can see other teams wanting to snatch him away from PSG, being like, "Oh, we'll pay his wages. You just leave him to us." You know what I mean? It's very, dude. This guy is way too good for our league. Just way too good.
There's no team that'll pay that amount as well to him.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no, for sure, man.
Bro, he can go to Saudi Arabia easily, where they're paying
only
Ronaldo
Saudi Arabia.
100
okay,
million.
that's different.
Okay,
but not like any respectable club. But so yeah, if 3.5, or at least like if we do a contract with performance clauses, where if he's ill or injured, he doesn't get that much, obviously, then I'd be fine as well. But we're going to see, man. It's going to be an interesting ride. Like last episode, we said we need to start planning already, right? Gomez is going to be gone next year. And
Defo gone.
Exactly. So we will see.
I heard we already started discussions with PSG just to get a feel for what they're looking for.
Erden Timur indeed already started to pull it out.
Exactly. I have full trust in Erden Timur. He is incredible.
His nickname,
and we're very lucky.
What was his nickname? The negotiator or Mr. Convincing? Mr. Convincing.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So let's hope Mr. Convincing does it.
You think Dursun Özbek is a little jealous of Erden Timur by any chance? Because Erden Timur gets all the praise. I don't see Dursun Özbek getting any praise.
Dursun. We said a donkey doesn't hit his ass twice, and I said when he was elected, I said he'll do a good season, and he's a good yönetici. He's a good manager, man. So
yeah, let's give him a shout out here.
Aynen.
We didn't want him.
Surat, we love you, man.
Yeah, fuck
yeah,
Dursun
you're
Özbek.
doing good. Keep up the good work.
All right, and that's our cue, boys. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Yasin. Thank you, Emre. We all love you.
Love you too, bro.
We all love each other. We all love the community. We all love Galatasaray. And we all love you for listening all the way to the end. So if you want to show some appreciation, hit us up on Twitter or Instagram. Our handle is @TheLionsDenGS. And last time, we love you. Have a good evening, morning, afternoon.
See ya.
It's a wrap.